Hi, my name is Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you get to the next level in the gym by burning fat, building muscle, gaining more strength for that personal record, dialing in on your nutrition and supplementation program. Here on YouTube, my main focus is on sharing the insights, the perspectives, the technology strategies that I use to break to that next level mentally. Because as Anthony Robbins says, success is 80% psychological. And with that, have you ever wondered how important data, metrics, details are? The details of nuances. Have you ever wondered how important details really are? In other words, let's take a look at your physique, your body. Is it really a big difference to have 50 more grams of protein in a day? Why not just skip those 50 grams? Does it even affect you? Does your body even notice? Let's take a look at your spiritual activities, your being. Listening to a sermon on Sunday, going to church, meditating. Does that even impact you, move the needle forward in any way? Let's take a look at relationships, your balance aspect. Does sending a text to someone in the morning help affect their day positively, and does it affect your day to have made someone feel positive? Yes or no? What about business? I make these videos all the time. Does making this video impact my business at all, considering that they're free? I mean, this is a free video. How does this impact my business at all? Do I gain anything from that? Well, as of the last month and a half, those of you that have been keeping up with if you have been keeping up with my using of the Whoop strap, what I like about it is that it's given me data over stuff that is unseen. Meaning, without this strap, I cannot see my heart rate. I cannot see my heart rate variability. I cannot see how reducing 100 milligrams of caffeine that day is going to affect me with data. See, so the strap allows me to see the unseen, the nuances, the details of what's going on when I tweak certain things. Does that matter? Well, I'll have you consider that, for example, when I woke up this morning, I said to myself, what thought am I having? And when you wake up, you just dreamt, you just woke up from a great night's sleep, your mind kind of might have the thoughts start percolating slowly sometimes. And that's where I was. The thoughts sort of, imagine like a tranquil lake, and if there was on the surface little fish come up and kind of get some food off the top of the lake, one at a time, something like that. Imagine that's how I woke up, and each little fish symbolizes a thought. And what I noticed is the thoughts were coming in at a gradual pace enough so I could say, you know what? No matter what has happened in the past, whether it was good, bad, loved it, hated it, doesn't matter. I'm here now. I'm here now. And if I can live this day here forward with focus and excellence, with complete conviction as to where my state of mind is doing and what I'm doing and what I'm building, and the accuracy of thought, and I'm not wasting my time thinking things that I don't need to be thinking, if I can do that, then it's safe to say, logically speaking, that I will be okay with the outcome of those actions. If every action has an opposite and equal reaction, and our actions create a fruit, or that's been said in the Bible, you will know them by their fruit. If everything that we do creates a opposite equal reaction, or there is a development of production or a fruit that comes from that behavior, it's safe to say that if I am okay with every thought I'm having, and thoughts affect our behaviors, then it is safe to say that I will be okay with the production, because I'll be able to say, everything I've been thinking I've been okay with, and those thoughts affected certain actions that I'm also okay with, because I was okay with the thought, which was the origin of the action, and therefore if I'm okay with the thought and the action, then it is fair to say that I'll be okay with the fruit. Think about it. This music playing, for example, is designed to help focus. And it's an app that I got. Shout out to Jeremy Finlay, who created an app called Quantum. It's an awesome app. And he designed it with the thought of helping us produce work. In other words, it's very connected to my aha moment this morning. And it's not like I haven't had these types of thoughts, but the steadiness by which this thought sort of just got there, just sort of, it was just there. And I've been able to hold on to this focus the entire day. And then by chance, I started using this app, and it became more intuitive. And I tried to use it in the past, but kind of now it came to it with less expectation from it. Almost like the art of the app met the scientific reasoning for the app. So Jeremy designed the app like this. He sort of made it so that we have a project. So say for now it's to create this video, right? And create this video, which is about details, right? And the importance of nuances and how they affect outcome, right? But this one video is part of a larger umbrella topic, which is to impact, reach, and connect with a tribe of people. These people, like yourself, are looking for an edge. I've described people like yourself looking for an edge, looking to expand consciousness, and looking to get results at all costs. That's how I've described my audience. I now would add one more element: a practical, thoughtful audience. So they want those things, and they want some sort of ability to sink their teeth into it. Jeremy's app would be a good thing to download. The Quantum app. I don't have a link for it. You can look on the App Store. In any case, so today when I woke up, I began my core 4, which is making a green smoothie, meditation, texting my family, made some breakfast. I have it all written down what I did, and then I began some work on my computer, and here's my schedule right here next to me. And then I began designing some programs for some clients, some fitness stuff. Trained a client, began doing some email stuff for this new online training that I'm developing, and here we are. Just had some tech issues that I had to handle, but every single one of those behaviors and actions and thoughts had while some of them were tedious, like tech issues, they were all connected to a bigger agenda. And so naturally, now that's handled and things are running a little smoother on the tech world. And when I look at the idea here, I can sign off on it and say, it was a day spent. The time was spent, but it was all connected to bigger ideals and projects that needed to be done. Well, nobody likes tech issues, and nobody really wants to be on customer service dealing with a tech issue. I do want the fruit of being able to, for example, do email campaigns, because I'm working with a coach to help me with my marketing, and that's important, right? So even though texting someone on a chat sucks, having a cohesive working arrangement with my marketing and my coaching, that is a good fruit, right? So I stuck in there with the detail, that little detail, to carry that on. Now, some of this is common sense, right? Nothing's been said that is earth-shattering just yet. So let's take a look at something that is a little bit more profound and still applicable. Let's just say some people wonder why I don't like texting, especially when I'm getting to know somebody, or they want to talk about friend stuff, or let's say the opposite sex, specifically the opposite sex for me, because sometimes people want to get to know me personally. And then I'll say, okay, well, I'd rather not text about that, because if my brain is working on this stuff, which is already kind of sometimes tedious, like computer stuff that doesn't feel that good to be there, it's easy to be distracted by a text. And say if that text is maybe it sways into a misunderstanding, right? And now there's an emotional misunderstanding that I'm feeling, and I already didn't want to focus on this text stuff, which that was already a weird emotion to begin with for me. So I have this weird tech emotion, and now I have a weird like feeling about this discussion going on. Now it's stacked, so there's this double emotion going on, the not liking the tech issue, plus now the emotional weirdness with this conversation, plus that conversation is now a little bit weird and like not feeling great, plus the tech stuff is still not resolved. So there's like 4 little shit storms occurring now, versus, hey, look, let's just talk on the phone at some other time, and I'm going to handle this so it can streamline, produce a function that I want, improve my self-esteem, improve my overall energy and production, have the outcome I want. Then when I talk to you on the phone, it'll be a far clearer way for us to not misunderstand each other. And that also produces more energy and self-esteem. And now we have a double energy and self-esteem, and now we have more power. Did you get that? Okay. That's the power of details. You could say, oh, I hate that that's true, but that's the way it works. That's the way it works. You may not like that. Nobody, that doesn't sound too sexy. Handle one thing at a time that is important, that you must handle, that you cannot delegate, and then find another way to handle the next task in a way that if you can't delegate that one, handle that one too. Take it one step at a time. That doesn't sound sexy, right? It doesn't. I'm not going to get any prizes for that. And yet, years ago, when I was asked to describe my coaching methodology, the things that I do, I said, it's like common sense self-mastery. I've talked about it before. I've mentioned it in other videos. Common sense self-mastery, meaning you need that mastery of self, like a meditation, to sit down and there's feelings I get when it's like weird vibrations that course through my spine, and like I want to get up and I want to like move, and I breathe through that, right? It's like a self-mastery of the mastery of self. So those are the things I'm talking about. Like self-mastery how often do you hear about self-mastery? Like say you go see the hottest movie right now in Hollywood. Are they gonna talk about how the protagonist handled his challenges by dialing in on situations one at a time? Listen to his music. He handled his things to do one thing at a time, looking at spreadsheets, sending the email, getting the workout done, attending the webinar, talking to the coach, one thing at a time. The protagonist did it one thing at a time. Have you consider that one of the most powerful phrases I've ever heard is chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. Meaning when you want to get the job done, and let's just say you're doing some field work or whatever. It's like chop the wood, carry the water, get the job done. One thing at a time. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. look, dude, I know that there's a whole lot of fucking channels out there, and some are more titillating than this one. Some people showing far more sexual titillation than this. I know that. I'm not. So I'm a man, and I can't, be in my tights here and like, it's not even my style. Like my job as a coach is to help you break through some of the habits that are holding you back. Sometimes that's hanging out with friends that are toxic. Sometimes that's an addiction to donuts. Sometimes that's an addiction to pornography. Sometimes that's an addiction to anything, like the inability to manage your sleep. There's so many things that are needed from us as humans to excel, that me as a coach, I've pretty much dealt with almost anything that we deal with. And for me, the big breakthrough today was to look at how, wow, I've really found how details, the obsession with looking at my data in my sleep has translated into the details of looking at my thoughts, even more so than I already did. And in ability to see, like, oh, there's that thought. I don't want that thought. I want this one. I don't want that thought. I want this one. Just like in meditation, I don't want those thoughts. I want the mantra. I don't want those thoughts. I want the mantra. I don't want those thoughts. I want the mantra. And so, like, all these things start connecting. This underlying thread to mastery, to performance, to production. Now, naturally, if you're hearing this, you can doubt it and think, no, self-mastery is not important. What's important is for me to have a good time, rock out with my cock out, and that's what's important to me. Well, I think that's been trendy for many years, but the concept of true focus and true self-mastery, regardless of your politics, regardless of your sexual orientation or who you want to have sex with, or whether you're monogamous or non-monogamous, I don't give a shit. The importance of mastering self transcend all those things. That's the new perspective that you need to consider and take away with you here. And you need to take away that details matter, and how those details translate into mastering other details that are part of a bigger gear that drives the entire bigger engine of your production. So I'd encourage you to get something like the Whoops Trap that helps you analyze something that maybe you were overlooking, like sleep, because it's a great way to get into details. Maybe it's using the app Headspace and meditating more. Maybe it's working out and tracking your food. Like, I've done all those things before. I've done obsessive food counting and macronutrient counting, and I've done meditation. Like, so what I'm saying is, I can only look at these things, these disciplines, these behaviors, these obsessions with metrics and data, and I can only tell you I'm happy I did them, because now I see how after many years, like, I started seeing how when it's all said and done, recently I've gone through so much shit, like Rome was been burning, and I've had these disciplines to rebuild my life on. Like, when it's all said and done, a business fell, my dad passed away, one of my friends came down with a disease that's life-threatening, one of my friends got cheated on by his partner, and on and on and on it came in 2019. But I've had the discipline of continuing to work out, continue to meditate, continue to eat right, continue to have my smoothies, and in that I've been able to say, what do I need to do next? And I've started an online training program, and that came from like a deep inner search of all the work I've done in the past, and my obsession with data and metrics, and really looking for a voice within self to say, this is the next move. And that came only through the incubation of everything, of it all being built in my head, and chance and destiny and all the elements. It's like that song by Fort Minor. Goes, it's 10% luck, it's 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. It's like that. So in any case, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Details matter, and those details do affect bigger change and bigger outcome. If you obsess about important details, those details drive bigger focus into more important details. It continuously feeds on itself. The mind's ability to focus on the minutia does drive bigger things. It becomes a habitual response to life's needs. Love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe, share, maybe talk about some of the details in your life, whether it's you monitoring your sleep, whether it's monitoring your macronutrients, whether it's monitoring how much porn you watch, whether it's monitoring how often you smoke a cigarette, whether it's monitoring whatever it is, monitor a detail in your life. I'd love to hear how it impacted you, a habit, how many times you drank your green smoothie, how many times you had your supplements. Monitor the details in your life that are important to you and see how that starts affecting everything else. This is Jacob Adams. This has been fun. Probably one of my funnest videos, quite frankly. And it was just about details. We'll see you next time. Peace.